welcome you to HRM. We are so happy that you're here to join us. Today, we are so excited to have with us Josh Bersin. He is the top voice in HR, and he also talks about the technology and how it's going to impact your workforce in the future. But not only am I going to be talking to him, but our Dean of the HRM program is here also to start this conversation, and that is Deb Gogliettino.
Thank you, Sonja. And you know what I want to do is thank you so much, students, for kind of listening to our presentation. And Jess, I have a couple of questions I want to start with,
Sure.
which I'm sure you're asked kind of all the time. So my first question is, considering the challenges we all see in organizations today, why should a student choose HR as a profession?
Oh, well, that's an easy one to answer. This is the most interesting profession you can imagine, and the value is going up and up and up in the world of business and the world of your own professional career. I mean, just to be very, very brief, the business community, the academic community, the government, all of the institutions of the world have really daunting people-related challenges. We have a labor shortage, we have a skills shortage, leadership challenges. Companies are going through transformations. Nobody really knows what AI is going to do to jobs. Companies are becoming flatter. We have issues like income inequality, diversity, all sorts of social issues that come into the work environment. And we as HR professionals are really here to craft and design and implement the solutions to all of these business challenges. I mean, I think if you went back and looked at HR 20, 30 years ago when I was, just getting out of college, it was an administrative profession, and it's not. It's a profession of consulting and value add and really high, solution orientation. And it's a really interesting, dynamic, constantly changing profession. I think everybody who goes into it is more excited about it year after year after year. And I talk to hundreds of HR people all the time about how fascinating this profession is.
You know what, Jess, it's interesting. When I spent my time in the corporate side of HR, people would say to me, why do you like this? And I would say to them, first, I think I'm a little bit crazy. But the second piece I would say to them is because it's different every day. You
Right.
go into work expecting maybe a certain thing, but then your day may be entirely different and you're working on different issues, or maybe you're working with board members or whatever's happening. And so I agree with you. I think that's a fascinating part of human resources is it really tests, I would say to students, it tests your stuff, right? It tests
And it's
your
very
resilience.
the other thing is it's very multidisciplinary. You can
Yes.
be a psychologist, you can be a data analyst, you can be a teacher, you can be a business consultant. I mean, they're all part of the HR profession, and there's a legacy of history and smart thinking and research behind it. It's just a very deep domain profession. I don't think people that aren't in HR appreciate how complex and rich it really is until they, really need us.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing is, I know that you're conducting a lot of research. I follow your research about the role of the HR leader. And
Mhm.
if you were from what you're hearing right now, what skills do you think are needed for the most successful HR leader, whether they're in a small company or in a large corporation?
Well, it's a very big question, and every company is a little bit different, but generally speaking, it falls into four domains. The first is you have to understand HR itself, the various practices, and you don't have to be a guru in all of it, but you have to understand the relationship between the practices, everything from hiring to development to coaching to pay and all of the things that we have to deal with. The second is you have to be a business leader. The
Mhm.
HR leader of today is not the head of HR. They are actually a C-level leader who also brings the people expertise to the table with the CEO, the CFO, the head of sales, the head of manufacturing, the head of operations. So you have to think about yourself as a business leader, not just an HR leader. The third, to me, is this what I call systemic thinking. What happens in HR when you're a leader is you have this, organization of people doing different things in HR, and then a problem comes along. It could be a product problem, it could be a business problem, a financial problem, and you have to figure out, working with the other C-level leaders, how are we going to mobilize this system of HR that we have to address this problem? It isn't just delegated to the head of recruiting, delegated to the head of pay, because all of these things are interconnected. And then the fourth capability that I think is really critical, and I've learned this by meeting many, many CHROs, is you kind of have to be, in some sense, a psychologist, an organizational psychologist, because even though you might know the right thing to do and it might be black and white to you, how you get it done and how it actually gets rolled out in your company, in your culture, under the conditions you're in today is very psychological. You can call it change management, but it's more than that. It's understanding the organizational dynamics of your company and your leadership, and then using that to direct the HR investments to go in the best directions that's going to have the greatest impact. So those are the four big things for top level HR leaders that I think all come together with lots of small things around that.